Well, hello again, Trucker Todd here, and it's taken me a couple of weeks, but it's time to do the 1-year anniversary review of Roadrunner Freight. That's right, I've been here a year, and I'm going to tell you about that year and what my thoughts are about the company thus far. It's kind of funny because my first 90 days were kind of rough here at Roadrunner Freight, and one guy even said if I lasted a year, he would buy me a steak dinner, thinking for sure that I would move on. And so a lot's happened. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in. Okay, we're back. Before we get into this video, a lot of people have asked me for an update on the last video I did. I was very upset with the TA truck stop chain and their shop in Slidell, Louisiana. And I was also pretty upset with Roadrunner. In that video, I said that I'd be seeking other employment, and a lot of people have been asking questions about that. We're not going to attack that subject today, but we are going to attack that subject probably Monday. I'll have an update for you. And so for that reason, make sure that you have subscribed to this channel. Make sure that you click that you want the notifications, and that way when I put the video out on Monday, you'll receive a notification and you can get an update about what's going on and my future plans. Also, give me a thumbs up. That makes the video more accessible to more people on YouTube. And share this video on your social media platforms. Also, feel free to leave a comment below. My email's down there, and feel free to email me. And also, there's a link to apply at Roadrunner after you hear this 1-year review. If you decide you would like to do something like this, there's a link there to get you applied and get you in contact with somebody that can answer all your questions. If you do click that link, send me an email. Let me know so that I can answer any questions you might have and help you navigate through the application process. Okay, on this list, there's not any particular order. The first few things are going to be positive, and then there's some negative in there, of course. This isn't a hit job. There's going to be good and bad, as there would be with any company. And I've tried to filter out my current frustrations with the company, like I said, that we'll address on Monday. All right, here we go. So one of the most positive things there is the people. There is a lot of great people that work there, both in the warehouses, in the office, and I've met a lot of great drivers that I'm still friends with to this day. Like any company, they've got a few people there that's difficult to deal with, but for the most part, you'll find a welcoming staff that wants to try to help you. An example, what they call the Dallas terminal, which is actually in Grand Prairie. The security staff there, every one of them is extremely friendly, extremely helpful. They're good people. The window people in Mariloma, in Dallas, at several locations are just great people. And they're fun to work with. They're generally very helpful and friendly to the drivers. So staff-wise, there's a lot of great people within the company. All right, pay. As I've told y'all before, I do really well here, and that's why I put up with as much as I do. It could be better. There's some lanes here that are not competitive. As a matter of fact, I would say all of them aren't competitive right now. Rates have gone up, and they really need to address that. I've made videos about that, but I do very well. But I run 3,800 miles a week or so. So I would do it well anywhere at that kind of mileage. Sometimes I'll take time off, and that'll affect it a little. I'll be around 3,100. It's a little hard to tell because when you do backhauls, which is what you and I would call a broker load, they don't count those towards your mileage totals. So I had one week where it showed like 2,100 miles, but it's because I ran a lot of broker loads that week. So I'm gonna have to turn a light on. It's getting dark out here. Alrighty. So next, I want to talk about the safety department. Now we've got a regional safety director that I'd seen his messages over the OmniTrax, but I had never had reason to talk to him till recently. I was in Dallas and my ELD switched from personal conveyance to driving while I was going down the road. And so I called him. He got OmniTrax involved. I didn't realize it at the time, but I had actually met him prior to this. Found out he's a fan of the channel. He watches the videos. He's subscribed. And I was real happy because I mentioned him in a previous video when I got these OmniTrax installed in my truck when Roadrunner went from Rand McNally to OmniTrax. He was actually there for my installation, and I said a lot of positive things about him in that video. So he thanked me for the positive comments. The safety department as a whole is great. The problem with the safety department, as with a lot of departments at Roadrunner, they can be very difficult to reach sometimes. It literally seems like every single department is a little short-staffed, and safety is no exception. But when you do finally get a hold of somebody, they're generally helpful. I've found a lot of knowledgeable people that are really trying to help. I've worked for companies where the safety department was nothing more than a gotcha department, and they were trying to find reasons to fire you or get you in trouble. That's not the case here at Roadrunner. The safety department, they are generally interested in trying to help you and keep you in compliance, and for the most part they're a pleasure to work with. I don't have any issues with the safety department, other than they can be hard to reach on the phone. One thing about Roadrunner, and this is still on safety, and it's something they've been really focusing on, the safer score. It's not horrible, but it's not where it should be. So if you have pre-pass like I do, you can get more red lights than what you might like. I'd get probably 60 or 70% green. I have my own personal easy pass, but with any company you're considering working at, try to pick a company with the higher, safer scores. And it's easy to find the score. Google whatever the company is and then write safer after it, and it'll pull up the safer scores, and you can see how that company compares to other companies nationwide and help you make a decision. Just like they look at your PSP and determine what a good fit you'd be for their company, you can kind of look and see what kind of fit they'd be for your driving record. So I hope that safer score continues to go up. It kind of goes up and down. We have good and bad months here, but it does need to improve just a little bit, and I think they would agree with that. Communication. I've done a lot of videos about my frustration in this department. I heard a driver the other day sum it up best. He said it shouldn't be this hard to move boxes, and it's very true here. There's too many people in the mix, and it takes too long to get the simplest things done. It reminds me of a game you played as a kid where you had a group of people, you sat in a circle, you whispered something in somebody's ear and they whispered it in the next person's ear, and by the time it got around the circle it was an entirely different phrase. And it's the same thing here. I mean, I'll give you an example. To do a rider permit, it's 5 pages long. I have to fax it to my IC coordinator, who then faxes it to somebody else or takes it to somebody. I'm a little unclear on that. They sign it, they give it back to her, then she sends it to me. If it was direct, it'd be a lot easier. Payroll. It's almost directly impossible to talk to somebody directly if there's a payroll issue. And we're going to get to payroll here in just a minute. Well, let's go ahead and do it now. In the last 8 weeks, I've found 5 problems with my payroll. One of them is still unresolved. At my 1-year anniversary, I was supposed to get a penny raise. 2 weeks later, still don't have it. They say they're going to correct it. It's unclear if I'm going to get back paid for what they owe me that 2 weeks. I realize it's 50 or 60 bucks, but it's more the principle of it than anything else. They really have had a lot of payroll problems lately. I don't know what's causing it. If it's the work from home thing, I've had several drivers complain to me about payroll not being right, and so it's a little frustrating. Also, there's way too many titles. I have an IC coordinator, a fleet coordinator. I mean, all these different titles, and a lot of these things, they'll have a supervisor and then a director of a department and then a VP and then this and that and this and that, and it could be confusing about who handles what, when, where, and how. I don't know how to fix that either, and but it's something I hope they address at some point. The maintenance department, if there's two areas in the company that I have the most trouble, it's maintenance and it's when it comes time to do a backhaul / broker load. It makes you want to give up sometimes. Let's talk about maintenance first. It's real hard because maintenance doesn't take care of maintenance themselves. They outsource it to TA Road Squad, and in my opinion, TA Road Squad sticks it to them. For example, in Grand Prairie, if you have a trailer that has a light out, instead of them getting somebody local to come put a light in it, they call TA Road Squad, who comes from 28 miles away, charges them a road service fee. If it's after hours, there's after hour fees, and a simple light could be $300. Or if you have flat on your truck, anything like that, instead of doing something efficient or time saving, it's always got to go through Road Squad. Now, they've recently told me, because of the amount of problems I have, and this is true for all drivers, not just me, that you can use other shops for the truck. But in most cases, they still go through Road Squad. I remember I had a clearance light go out. There wasn't a TA nowhere around. I had to go to a shop. Road Squad had to call that shop, pay that shop. It turned out being a mess because that shop didn't want to take credit cards over the phone. And so I'd like to see them bring that in-house, because it's just not efficient. It doesn't work well. And I'm going to hold off on commenting a lot on TA till Monday's video. Save it for then, because they and I are currently discussing the situation and we're looking for a resolution. And I don't want to make any comments prematurely until after all the dust settles and I know how this is going to finish. Also, Roadrunner and I are having discussions, and I don't want to muddy the water there until we've reached some type of resolution. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. Let's talk about overnight dispatch. Up until recently, I was having a lot of trouble with overnight dispatch. They've alleviated a lot of that concern. Now they have the Haul Now app. You can dispatch yourself off that app, and that's taken a lot of stress and stuff out of the mix. So I would have to say, you know, this video sounds like I'm being really critical of Roadrunner, and I'm not trying to be. When I first started here, it was bad. And in the past 12 months, this company has improved a lot. And I'm sure over the next 12 months, they're going to improve a lot. But there's a lot of areas that still need improvement. And all I'm doing is shining a light on some areas that I think still need some work. This isn't news to them. They know areas that need improvement. They know they haven't arrived yet, but they also realize a lot of progress has been made and they were better than they once were. So overnight dispatch, for now, I would have to say is greatly improved. They had a problem child in that department. You remembered me talking about a girl that her name started with J, that, I mean, every time we called her, it was a train wreck. Well, she's left the company. They still have two people that their names begin with J that work in that department. One is a male, one is a female, and they're both awesome. I don't have any problems with either one of them. either one of them, if I call them now, we can usually resolve whatever the issue is very quick. So I would give a big thumbs up to Overnight Dispatch because they have improved a lot. Now let's talk about another good thing. The freedom that you have at Roadrunner. You pick your own loads. You do have access to broker loads, but they have to release you, and that's another area that I have problems. It's very difficult to get released, and right now it's borderline impossible. And I've been very frustrated about this. Recently, in the discussions that are ongoing between me and Roadrunner now, I've mentioned it. They've told me that they've had meetings about it. They're discussing it. They're looking for ways to improve things, and they hope to have some stuff they can share with me in the next few weeks. So, but there is a lot of freedom here. There's no micromanagement, and like I said, they do want you to run legal, but if you're running legal and doing what you're supposed to, you're not going to have any problems here. And that's probably the biggest draw, that and the pay, why people come here. Granted, the pay's not at what it should be, but it's still very good when you factor in the freedom and dropping hook and picking your own loads and things like that. Now let's talk about another area I've had problems as of late. Equipment. They have a lot of 2015s, a lot of 2016s, internationals, a few Volvos. They're trying to get into Peterbilts and KWs and bigger Volvos and things like that. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. I hate to get into specifics in this area. It's best if you're curious about what equipment they have, email me. I'll get you in touch with somebody, or click that link below, do your application, and somebody will be in contact with you that can share that information with you. I'm having some frustration right now with them, and this is probably my biggest beef at this point. Is I wanted to change trucks. I mentioned that a while back, and they've been very reluctant, and to the point that they know I may quit over it. They don't want me to quit, but they're willing to let me go instead of move me to another truck. And so I've got a tough decision to make at this point about if I'm going to stay or if I'm going to go. I hope by Monday to be able to shed a little more light on this for you guys. Definitely sometime next week I hope to be able to shine some more light onto this for you guys. But at this point, that's all I can say on that subject. Trailers. The trailers are in bad shape. I don't know if they own the trailers or if they rent the trailers. If they're renting the trailers, they should be very upset at Extra Lease if that's who they're getting them from. Also, some of their 3PLs, that's the warehouses that they don't actually own but they have contracts with. They have a lot of them. They have a few terminals that's actually theirs, and then a lot of third-party logistics companies they work with that are slow about unloading trailers. So you get somewhere, you drop your trailer, you're supposed to either hook to another load and leave, or if you're doing a backhaul to maybe go home or something, you have to have an empty. Lots of times there's no empties. In some cases I'm hearing drivers say 2 or 3 days they're having to wait. Roadrunner's aware of this situation. I'm told they're trying to fix the problems that exist there, but they charge you a trailer pool here, $235 a week, and I've got a problem with this too. I've mentioned it in other videos. You know, they don't pay any maintenance on these trucks. They say it's your truck, you take care of the maintenance, as it should be. Well, I think it should be a two-way street. Those trailers are their trailers. They should pay for the maintenance on the trailers. Instead, you find the driver pays for the maintenance on the trailers. Now, they would tell you that they lose money on this trailer pool fee, and I'm sure they do, but it's for the example I said earlier about how TA gets them on these road service fees. If they would find, I would hire a guy if I was them at the major terminals. I'd hire a guy, get him a shop truck, and let him fix stuff right there. Give him $15 an hour. Let him work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, fixing trailers, working on stuff. it would save them thousands. But for now, they like their current arrangement. The result is, we've got a lot of really old trailers that need a lot of repairs. It's not uncommon to pick up a trailer with holes in the roof, or the door seal's bad, or a flat tire, or lights don't work. And I would definitely I'd like to see the trailer pull go away, the fee, and I would like to see maybe some new trailers ushered in. And I've mentioned that to them as well. I'm not optimistic that anything's going to happen there anytime soon, but you never know. But I'm going to stop this video here for at this point. If it's gone a little long, if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or put them below. I'll try to answer them. If we get some really good questions, I may make a follow-up video later on. Like I said, I've lasted a year. We're in a little bit of a conflict now. I don't know if there's going to be another year or another 3 months or even another month. But I hope next week I can answer those questions for you. I want to thank everybody for watching. It is pouring down rain here, and I'm going to get back on the road. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.